In this video, we're going to talk about the relationship between planes, sketches, and features in Solid Edge, and compare that to what happens when you do the same thing in Solidworks. First, let's start a feature the way Solid Edge intends us to. We'll click on the Extrude feature, and notice that the first thing that it's asking us for is a sketch. But in turn, the sketch is asking us for some sort of plane. I could click on an existing plane, but for a demonstration purpose, I'm going to create a new plane. And that new plane is going to be a part of this new sketch. So I'll click on Parallel Plane. It asks me to select a plane to be parallel to, so I'll click on this one. And then I can drag it out a certain distance, and I'll put it over here. Now I've got a place to sketch. So Solid Edge kicks me into sketch mode. Click, click, click to make a triangle, and then I'll hit the green check to say that I'm done sketching. And now Solid Edge kicks me immediately into the Extrude tool, and all I have to do is click or enter a number to finish the extrude. Next, Solid Edge wants us to finish the feature, and then it's expecting us to make another one. Solid Edge is always expecting you to make multiple features of the same type, which is why if you're just making a single feature of one type, you have to hit the cancel every time. It seems like an extra step, but really if you're doing multiple features of the same type, it's a saved step compared to the way Solidworks does it. Okay, now let's look at the Pathfinder, and we find that we've got a protrusion over here, which is Solid Edge speak for the extrusion. And if we click on the arrow, we get a profile under that, which is Solidworks speak for a sketch that has been used for a feature. Now we'll see a distinction between how they name things in a little bit. But notice also that the plane is nowhere to be found. If we double click on the profile, we do get that offset dimension, so we can still edit the plane even though it's not shown in the Pathfinder. Okay, now next we're going to show all of the elements of an extrude created separately. So I'll start this time by creating a plane, and again we'll make a parallel plane, but we'll make it to this plane and we'll pull it out this direction, and then we'll make a sketch, and it's asking us to select the plane. So we've already created that plane, and I'll draw that shape and then hit the green check to exit and finish the line and cancel in the same way that we did for the extrude earlier. Now we'll select the extrude feature. The sketch will select from an existing sketch and pick on this, click the green check, and pull out the extrusion distance. Finish and cancel. Okay, now in this case, we see we've created a plane and a sketch, which is called a sketch and not a profile, and then we've also created a protrusion separately. So these are three individual features instead of two features, and each one is combined with its child, essentially. So if we want to change the plane, we can edit the definition of the plane and change how it was created. Okay, now there is a third way you may have guessed, and let's back all of this off. The third way is to just create the sketch first. I'll skip the sketch step and just click on the line tool, and the line wants us to either create it from an existing sketch or, you guessed it, another parallel plane. So we'll click on this. In this case, the plane will be part of the sketch, but the sketch will not be part of the feature. So now for this one, we'll add another side and click the green check. Now it doesn't kick us automatically into the extrude because we haven't told it we wanted to do that yet. So here's the extrude, select from sketch, right click, And there we are. Okay, now there's some implications of doing things each way. We're not at the end of the road here just because we've created things. Notice here we've got the sketch and a protrusion. For the second feature, we have a plane, a sketch, and a protrusion. And for the first feature that we created, we have a protrusion and then a profile listed under it. This is the way Solidworks does it. And then the plane would be listed separately somewhere up the tree. If we try to delete something from this first feature, try to delete the sketch, and it says the selected item could not be deleted. Okay, that's understandable because it's part of the protrusion. But if we try to delete the protrusion, it lets us, and it takes everything with it. That's not really what we want at all. Let's take a look at editing the sketch. Is there a way to move this sketch to another plane? Well, let's look under sketch, and we could say coincident plane. And okay, it's going to do it, but relationships might be lost. And let's click on this plane instead. So you can edit the sketch plane. The first protrusion is going up in Z instead of along Y or X. So you can edit things in that way. With the other method, there's a lot more button pushing, the second method that we used, where we have a separate plane, sketch, and feature. We had to select the type of feature that we wanted 3 times. First the sketch, then the plane, then the extrude. With the first protrusion that we made, all we had to do was tell it that we wanted to extrude, and it knows the rest of the process to get there. It walked us through selecting or creating a plane and then selecting or creating a sketch. So there's advantages and disadvantages of all of these. If I were to want to delete the sketch, it lets me do it, but it's still got the protrusion here. Let's see if we can do something kind of crazy. I'm going to open a circle, create a circle on this plane, and just draw that in there. And notice that this new sketch is down below everything else in the Pathfinder. So if I drag this as far as it'll go up, then that's fine. Okay, I got this sketch in here. Now I can edit the protrusion, and in select from sketch, because I've deleted the other sketch, I can select the circle and finish. Okay, so we've changed protrusion 1 in a completely different direction by moving the sketch from one plane to another, and we've changed the second protrusion by changing the actual sketch that gets extruded. And that's significant. You can move the sketch from one plane to another, and you can move the extrusion itself from one sketch to another. This is significant power that I think is downplayed to some extent in Solid Edge. And again, we can move this sketch 3 to a different plane. We'll move it to this plane. There, it's moved it 90 degrees. So that's the way that Solid Edge handles the relationship between planes, sketches, and protrusions. You have the power to make it the way you want. Solidworks handles things a little bit differently. Let's turn on the display of these 3 planes. And if we click on the extrude feature first, Solidworks asks us to select a plane on which to sketch the feature cross-section. Doesn't allow us to create a new plane. That's the first distinction. Okay, so we'll create our triangle here. And then we click the green check to get out of the sketch and out of the line. And we click this symbol to finish the sketch. And then we get kicked into extrude mode, and we're done. We didn't get the option to create our own plane, so that's in here. But if we look at it, it's got the sketch listed under the feature just like Solid Edge had. There is another way to look at things with Solidworks. If you right-click at the top level you can go to Tree Display and Show Flat Tree View. Okay, and what that enables us to do is it just shows the sketch being made before the feature, which makes sense. In fact, this is the way it should be displayed anyway, because putting it the other way is a little bit confusing. Another thing that you can do with the Solidworks tree is to right-click on it and show the dynamic reference visualization. Show either parent and or child. So this boss extrude is not showing the sketch as a parent. So it's really inaccurate actually. So if we mouse over the sketch, it shows the front plane. Over the boss, it also shows the front plane, but the boss doesn't show the sketch as being a parent, which is, inaccurate. So let's do all of this again. Let's make a new plane first. I'll hold down Control and grab this plane and drag it up. And then I'll create a sketch on this plane. And if we exit the sketch using this tool, it doesn't do anything for us at all. So it just kicks us out of the sketch. But while we're in the sketch, we can use the extrude. We don't have to get out of the sketch. We just directly tell it that we want to extrude that, and then we're good. So this created the plane, the sketch, and the feature separately. If I go back and turn the tree display back to normal, which is to say to turn off the Show Flat Tree View, then you can see the way Solidworks handles this. It creates the plane, it shows the plane, and then the feature over the sketch. And Solidworks doesn't have a different way to distinguish sketches from profiles the way Solid Edge does. So let's see how editable this is. If we click on the sketch, we can edit the sketch plane and move this to a new plane. But if we edit the feature, there is no way that allows us to use a different sketch for this feature. We would just simply have to delete this feature and recreate a new one. So that's a serious limitation in Solidworks. Of course, if we go back to this plane and we edit the feature, it allows us to redefine the plane using geometrical methods and relationships and dimensions. So all in all, I think you have to give it to Solid Edge here for being a little more flexible in how you create things and how you edit things mostly. Solidworks gets the points for having a flashier and possibly more accessible interface, which includes visualization of certain relationships. But I think in terms of editability and options, Solid Edge takes the award in this category.